Alright, what is up guys, and welcome to Manipulation Mondays. Today I'm going to be giving you all a little tutorial on how I do my compositing, which is a combination of, I do a little bit of Cinema 4D work as well as the rest is done in Photoshop. Now you can composite all 100% in Cinema 4D, but I don't feel that it gives a very good realistic look personally. I think doing it by hand, while more time consuming, is better. So what you want to do pretty much is, and this will work on text, it'll work on anything really that you're wanting to composite into a scene. So take whatever you're compositing into the scene, drop it in your scene of course, and wherever you want to put it at. And now depending on what kind of scene it is, whether it's hard rock, sand, flooring, whatever it may be, the technique's going to vary on how you make it blend. If it's a harder surface, you won't need to make it blend really. If it's a softer surface, you'll want to use a soft brush and make it kind of lap over it, so to speak. So just take whatever you're manipulating and go ahead and add a layer mask to it. If you don't know how to add a layer mask, it's the third button at the bottom of your layers panel. And then take your eraser brush and grab the grass eraser. Go to your presets, shape dynamics, and turn the size jitter to about half. After you've done that, you want to size up your brush. And again, like I said, it depends on the size of your document and what all you're doing. And then make sure you're selected on your layer mask. And simply just erase the bottom of your, whatever you're compositing into the scene. Now, with a grass brush, you're going to want to click often so you get varying grass sizes, because it's not going to be perfect and uniform. And just lightly go over the bottom of your text or your person, your car, or whatever you're putting into the scene. And we're just going to run through this real quick. And then I always like to go back and make a larger brush and just kind of add some large grass pieces sticking in here, so it's got more of a realistic, like it's been sitting there a while and the grass has kind of grown up around it. Now, after you get all that done, your image immediately looks better. It doesn't look just like text sitting there on the screen. But you still want to make it blend better by adding a contact shadow and the shadow of your object. So with a contact shadow, you're just going to want to take a soft brush, add a lower opacity around 20%, and paint on black just at the edge of whatever's touching. So you want to give it a little bit of padding out away from it, but not too much. It's not going to be your actual shadow. This is just a contact shadow. Like for instance, if you were to take your hand and put it down on your desk, you'd immediately see, you know, a dark line of shadow showing that it's touching whatever it's on. And so after you go over this, don't make it solid black. You might want to turn the opacity down a bit. And then you might want to grab your eraser brush and touch up a few spots. Like I said, you want to keep it really close to the object. And that's all you really need to do for a nice little drop shadow. You can put it over to soft light if you want, which will make it even softer, so you can leave the opacity up. I generally just turn the opacity down and then I'll add more shadowing onto it later. Next you want to do is your directional shadow, and this is going to be the shadow of your object. So just duplicate the layer with Control or Command J, and then Command or Control M to bring up your curves. Take the right slider all the way down and it makes it black. And then go Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and bring it up. And it's going to depend on, again, the size of your object. Sometimes you're going to need a smaller blur because you're working in a smaller setting, or a larger one because you're in a larger setting. So just give it a nice soft look to it. You don't want it too blurred because then you're not going to have anything. You still want to see what the object was. And then after that, you're just going to want to Control or Command T and drag the top down and then match it up to the bottom of your text. Now, if you have a problem like this where you go, okay, match it up over here, but oh, it doesn't meet over here, you simply erase your mask by painting on white And because apparently the mask doesn't like me. Oh, my opacity's down. Make sure your opacity is all the way up, and you can paint in the solid color of whatever that was, and then match it up. Turn your opacity down, and then you're going to want to remask this over here by painting on black, because you only want it connecting down at the very bottom of the actual object. And usually about 20th opacity works really well on this. You can do it higher, you can set it to soft light as well, or multiply works. You may not notice a whole difference with multiply. It mostly works with darker tones of whatever it's on top of. So you can leave it on multiply and that works great. And then you have your contact shadow, which you might want to blur that out a little bit more or less depending on how dark your scene is. And then lastly, I usually add a shadow that just connects the two, that kind of darkens the bottom of the text as well as the actual shadow, and so your shadow kind of fades. And that is how you composite in Photoshop. I hope y'all like this tutorial, and if you want to see more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to comment what you want to see next. I plan on uploading these every Monday, and I'm going to be going through all the different steps of photo manipulating, compositing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go through all the steps that I know, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So, like I said, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.